More from our Tallahassee Bureau Chief Rick Fowle.
Senator Stephen Wise says their bill rewards the best teachers, the ones whose students make the most progress from year to year.
This bill ought to be a teacher's dream, to be able to get paid for student success.
Most of the Democrats oppose the bill. Senator Eleanor Sobel says no one's ever figured out how to make merit pay work.
There's no conclusive evidence whatsoever that merit pay will lead to higher student achievement.
The governor says he's excited by the bill, and he may get a chance to sign it soon. The House will be taking up the teacher bill next week. Rick Flagg, Tallahassee.
A Central Florida police officer shot and wounded a man who authorities say tried to hit the officer with his van. The police say officers were trying to arrest 50-year-old Kenneth Winnie Thursday when the shooting occurred. Winnie was suspected of committing a bank robbery near Kissimmee on Tuesday, and officers had obtained a warrant for his arrest. When they went to arrest him, he took off in the van. When he was spotted, he drove at an officer who was on foot. The officer shot Winnie in the head. The officer was not injured. In sports, the Florida Gators will play Tennessee tonight in the SEC tournament in Atlanta. 540 WFLA has live coverage beginning at 7. 540 WFLA News Time 6:32. I'm Michelle Murillo. Get these stories and more at 540WFLA.com. Coming up, more BHL.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, so far so good along I-4. No accidents or delays to slow your travels. Authorities are on scene of a serious wreck southbound along the Turnpike at US 27 mile marker 289. All southbound lanes are blocked at the time. Traffic is backing up quickly through this area. Be prepared for delays if you are headed this way. In a crash with roadblocks slowing things down southbound along John Young Parkway, just a little south of Oak Ridge Road. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Traffic on air, online, a service of Allstate, where safe drivers can save 45% or more. Are you a safe driver?
Hey, Mike.
Get Allstate today. Call a local Allstate
Get to you in
agent
just a
at
few seconds, sir.
Allstate, or visit allstate.com. Dollar for dollar, no one protects you like Allstate.
This portion of 540 WFLA is brought to you by Ace Plumbing, Electrical, and Air Conditioning. AceSolvesItAll.com.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel. Off to a cold start this morning. Plenty of sunshine. The high today only topping out near 70. Could be close to a record low tonight, and then warming up this weekend. Sunny and mid-70s tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Calling it a life-changing experience?
The world's leading light
Would be an understatement.
is building a new tomorrow.
Call 407-916-5400. Toll free, 866-916-5400.
Now our daily Wall Street Journal report as we bring on our friend Mike Salvatorelli, who is nothing less than the editor of the Wall Street Journal Radio Network. Good Friday morning to you, Mike. You know, we've been talking about what I consider to be the rather pathetic efforts of our representatives in Washington to deal with the horrendous and constantly growing national debt here. But the Journal's reporting on at a personal level, Americans are dealing with their own sea of red ink more effectively than they have in quite some time.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's actually a good sign for spending. It'll pick up again because of it. The Fed says total household debt shouldered by Americans in 2010 fell for a second straight year to less than $13.5 trillion. That's the smallest debt burden we've seen in 6 years, which means we have a little more cash to go out shopping.
Boy, I got to tell you, that's a frightening number, though. $13.4 trillion in personal debt.
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
We do know it means that there's a skosh more to spend on shopping.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, the value of our net worth increased 5% from 2009 to $505,000. Now, behind all this, what's really making things change is defaults on mortgages and credit cards played a large role to bring down the household debt. A lot of people just walked away or canceled out and were given up by the commercial banks. At the same time, more people are boosting the portion of their income that they used to pay down debt. And another reason is that debt levels have decreased for the fact that banks are making it harder for anybody to get a loan, so you can't have any debt.
Very interesting. And also, speaking to my initial point here, the Journal also reports in the same piece here that, at the federal level, our debt obligations just continue to grow.
Yes, it is. It's growing, and there's always efforts to do something about it, but you know how slow Congress is.
Yep, let's move on to something else in the Journal here this morning. Walmart's the biggest retailer in the world, but they kind of fallen on hard times of late, and they're trying to get creative and proactive to do something about it, and they're coming out with a new concept in Walmart stores, and you're reporting on it.
Yes, the biggest discount retailers about to minimize in size. Walmart planned to add hundreds of mini-sized versions of the stores it has. The decision is a bit of a change from a previous forecast to open only 34 of these. The new small stores will be called Walmart Express, will have a fraction of the 185,000 square feet
Very interesting. We'll see how it works for Walmart. And they're also going to be, you report, expanding on a program called Pick Up Today, which taps into the growing online shopping market.
Yes, and that's just another idea that Walmart is trying to gain an edge on other retail chains that are trying to steal from its thunder.
Interesting. Yeah, customers, who like to purchase items online can pick them up in stores, and that's what the new Walmart concept there is, Pick Up Today. Finally, in the Wall Street Journal this morning, Mike, a survey you report on of Americans age 50 and up. And they really do have some serious concerns about their own situations, don't they?
Yeah, they do. As a matter of fact, in a new AARP study, those 50 and over, I don't think they have what they need to address the important issues of today. And among the findings, all polls said staying healthy is important, but only a third really think they have what they need to do so. 88% say that spending time with their family and friends is important, but only a third believe they have what they need to stay connected to their loved ones, whether they're far away or whatever the case may be. And 81% said that protecting themselves against fraud is very important to them, but really only a quarter think they have what they're required to stay safe as consumers. So the real issue here is we want to, but we don't have what we need to get things done.
Read all about it in the Wall Street Journal, the best paper in America, or in the online edition. WSJ.com is where you go, and the editor of the Wall Street Journal Radio Network, who does such a great job for us now, on with me 6:30 every weekday morning, Mike Salvatorelli. We always appreciate you and everybody else at the Journal for the fine work you do. Have a nice weekend, and we'll have another Wall Street Journal report together on Monday morning, same time, all right?
Yes, indeed, and have a great weekend.
All right, thank you. Mike Salvatorelli. Moving on, the Middle East.
Have a good one, Mike.
Libya. Things you need to hear, but more than that, a very critical day in Saudi Arabia is coming up, and we're going to be talking about that as well. Saudi Arabia has 1/5 of the world's oil reserves. And if the entire Middle East explodes, and who knows how this is all going to play out, experts are now saying if we wound up in a worst-case scenario with massive protests and disruptions in Saudi Arabia, it would dwarf the problems caused directly and immediately to us of any other situation in any other country in the strife-torn Middle East. That we could be looking at a spike in oil prices and a spike resulting in gasoline prices that would be flat-out unbearable and potentially catastrophic for a still struggling economic recovery. There's a lot going on in that part of the world. First of all, let me mention a few things on the Libyan front before I get to more for you on Saudi Arabia, which you may not have really connected to or been thinking about. Today is their much anticipated and, on the part of the king and the royal family, feared Day of Rage. And protests will be erupting today. On what scale, we don't know at this point. Back in Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, it appears, is winning the day against the rebel forces who are screaming for help from the U.S. and from the rest of the West, at least in the form of a no-fly zone set up so Gaddafi's air superiority might disappear. We could keep his planes on the ground because they're really carving up the rebel resistance, and it looks like Muammar Gaddafi is advancing and turning back the rebels, the government forces there. Meanwhile, NATO is dithering and can't decide what to do. The U.S., as I told you, is not going to act unilaterally, nor, frankly, do I believe we are equipped to or to bear the consequences of doing that. You know, but NATO has to have unanimity. They got 28 countries, and they can't agree, all of them, on what to do. And so the rebels are just continuing to get hammered and slaughtered in increasing numbers. And I don't know how that's going to play out. But you know what? We've lived with Gaddafi for over 40 years. Hate the idea that this guy might actually be able to put down the revolt and stay in power. But as I told you, the one you really need to watch, even beyond the consequences of change in Egypt that we have no idea how will ultimately play out, is Saudi Arabia, because of all the oil. More on what may happen today in Saudi Arabia and what we could face depending upon how it all plays out in the kingdom. 6:42 on BHL. An update now on real-time traffic and weather together on the 2s.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, so far so good along I-4. No accidents or delays to slow your travels. Authorities are on scene of a serious wreck southbound along the Turnpike at US 27 mile marker 289. All southbound lanes are blocked at the time. Traffic is backing up quickly through this area. Be prepared for delays if you are headed this way. And a crash with roadblocks slowing things down southbound along John Young Parkway, just a little south of Oak Ridge Road. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Traffic reports on air, online, a service of your local Toyota dealers.
Toyota owners, now's the time to get new tires at your local Toyota dealer's tire sale. From March 19th through March 26th, buy 3 tires and the 4th tire is complimentary. Nothing compares to the expertise of Toyota's factory-trained technicians. See dealer for details.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, off to a cold start this morning. Plenty of sunshine. The high today only topping out near 70. Could be close to a record low tonight and then warming up this weekend. Sunny and mid-70s tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Morello. Coming up in your 7 o'clock news, dozens dead after a massive earthquake in Japan, the Pacific coast bracing for a tsunami, and Casey Anthony's attorneys want you to pay more for her defense.
So tell me, is the house looking a little bit dingy? Time for another paint job? Didn't you just shell out thousands to a painter 4 or 5 years ago? Well, of course you did. The Florida climate's very tough on paint. Paint just can't hold up, and I'll tell you one thing, never paint again, because paint can't compete with the great paint alternative that is Colorcrete, made in Orlando by a great family-owned business serving us for a half a century. The good folks at Colorcrete of Central Florida, Jim Dawson and his family and his fine crews. You're going to love these folks, and you're going to love their product, and you're going to love the fact that after they Colorcrete your place, they're going to hand you a 25-year guarantee on the job. That's how superior to paint Colorcrete is. A 25-year guarantee on the job, and unlike paint, with Colorcrete you get a protective barrier against wind-driven rain, and it prevents mildew. It puts a stop to peeling, chalking, and cracking. Great price always on Colorcrete. Better than ever now. They've reduced it for you 10%, and they've thrown in a free pressure cleaning of your driveway and sidewalks. Don't miss out on the great alternative to paint. Don't paint. Colorcrete. You'll thank me. Get a free estimate on Colorcrete. Free estimate before you sign off on a paint job. 407-851-3442. 407-851-3442. Call them and give them the Budman's best. They're wonderful folks. Online, it's ColorcreteUSA.com.
Member Michelle Bowman on the Sam's Club E-Values Savings Celebration.
E-Values lets me sample extra savings on top of the values I already get at Sam's Club.
March 9th through 13th, try E-Values, the money-saving benefit Plus members enjoy all year, like $150 off select HP notebooks, $50 off select Certa mattresses,
even $1 off fresh strawberries,
and much more. Not a member? Join now and sample E-Values. Sam's Club. Savings made simple. Supplies are limited and may not be available in all clubs. 1 item per membership, no rain checks.
Does your keychain say you're hardworking and dependable? It will when you add the keys to a Chevy Silverado All-Star Edition. And if you add them during Chevy Truck Month, they'll also say you're smart, because you'll get a trailering package, heavy-duty automatic locking rear differential, and a great deal.
Listeners are discovering a simple way to earn money. We're talking quit your nowhere job and work from home type of money. IncomeAtHome.com has come to us for listeners who want to work from home. Listen to this.
I have to tell you, it's the best decision that I ever made, because we replaced my income and my husband's income. This business has allowed us to quit our jobs, and we're both at home full-time and loving it. Best decision I ever made.
Listeners, IncomeAtHome.com is legit. They're connected to a multi-billion-dollar company doing business in 70 countries for nearly 30 years, and one of the few work-from-home companies with an A+ rating, either full or part-time. If you're ready to make a change and start earning money from home, go to IncomeAtHome.com now. Don't miss this chance. Visit them now. They're giving away $1,000 to someone just for checking them out. $1,000. Visit IncomeAtHome.com. IncomeAtHome.com. That's IncomeAtHome.com.